uh, NDT, inspection company, service company, you're going to start with a customer request. That kind of starts everything. A request to actually do a job. So with that, you're going to probably get a formal RFP. Maybe you're going to get an email or a phone call, possibly a text message. And from there, you have to generate a quote or a proposal back to that customer. If you're entertaining customers here at the ASNT show in the bar, you might even get a request on a napkin. And it's my favorite because the quote shows up right here on the napkin as well, so you don't even have to respond. But so you take all this together and you put it together in a quote, you send it back to the customer, and then what happens? The customer awards the business. Congratulations, you won the job. So now the fun really begins. How do I pull this all together? How do I set it up to get the work done for this job I just won? Good morning. Ah, no problem. Glad you made it. So you won the job, so now I got to build the job. So I'm going to look at my equipment and my trucks. I'm going to look at my personnel. I'm going to remember to look at the personnel certification records to make sure everybody is ready to go and certified to do that particular job. And then, of course, I'm going to pull together all my inspection forms, the things that I need to do. Hey, don't forget the JSA if they need a safety assessment on site before you start the work. And all of this has to be bundled together. And then you have to look at scheduling the work. You're going to do that on a calendar. If you're really lucky, you got one of those fancy, scheduling softwares where you can actually deploy your team and your equipment. So you build the job, and then you have to dispatch it and do the work. So you pull together your inspection work order form. You put it all in an email, maybe send it to your technician, or maybe you deliver him a package of paper. And he goes out, he does the work, completes all the inspection paperwork, and then at some point, you might get a change order. Anybody ever have a customer ask you to do something else while you were on site that wasn't in the original proposal? Probably never, right? Do you get paid for it? Do you track it? That's the big key. So change requests that happen on site, your technician should be able to capture that. Well, right now you might capture it via paper. And then when the job's all done, somebody might have to put this back into a system, back into Excel spreadsheets. If they did not capture it when they were doing the job in the forms that you have it, they'll have to do it there. And so the technician now probably spends evenings in the hotel or at home or the next day before the job typing all of this into the system so he gets it back so that you can actually complete the job. Completed work goes off and somebody else probably takes a look at it. You do a review. Maybe you have a level 3 that does the review for the job, and they approve it, so you can actually have a final report. Administrative staff collects the invoice, puts it all together, and possibly puts it back in an email to your customer. And you got to file it. Maybe you're using Dropbox. Maybe you're using some other form of technology. Once again, I defined at the beginning that this is digitization, it's not digital transformation. So leveraging digital tools is great, but transforming the process is what we like to talk about. So if you're old school, you'll even throw it in a filing cabinet. But most of the time these days, people are putting it in a Dropbox. So all of that happens. So what's the result? The result is your administrative staff is dealing with lots of disparate systems. They're dealing with Excel, they're dealing with the Microsoft suite of products. They're probably dealing with a lot of paper still, making sure all of this stuff comes together properly for the customer. They're probably a little overwhelmed with all of that stuff that they have to do. And it's not in one place. Maybe you store it all on a file drive or a server somewhere, possible, but it's all still individual documents. What about your technicians? Your technicians are spending a lot of time doing paperwork. And they're highly paid technicians. What do technicians that are certified to do inspections want to do? They want to do inspections. So if they can do more inspections rather than spending time filling out paperwork, wouldn't that be great for the business? And so then what about the customers? Is your customer happy? Do you know if the customer is happy? So the questions of, is your customer able to see your work throughout the process? Do they know what's going on? Do they have access to the results over and over again? Anybody ever have a customer call and say, hey, can you send me that report again? I lost that report, I don't know where to, can you send it to me again? Okay, so all of this stuff could lead to potential customer loss or your risk of retaining them as a customer. So what do? What's an inspection company to do? So what if, I want you to imagine this for a minute. What if you had all of this stuff in one location? What if you had everything to build your jobs, timesheets, forms, equipment lists, personnel lists, certifications, building teams, having your parts and consumables all in one system, all there to be able to create jobs in a digital format, deploy that format onto a mobile device, probably a tablet. You could use a cell phone, it might be a little small, but onto a tablet that your technicians can actually do the work, do the inspection forms, and capture all of their inputs in one place, one time, and it goes directly into a system that keeps it all together. You can also integrate that system with other systems that you use, whether it's QuickBooks or ADP, QuickBooks for invoicing, ADP for payroll, or if you have other enterprise systems, you can even pull and push data from those systems as well into a single system that allows you to do your entire work in one location and keep it in one location. Oh, by the way, you can also have a customer portal that allows your customers to look into your system, get the status of every job as it's being executed, and have a place to retain that information for the future. They never have to call you again. They always know exactly what's going on with the job, and they have every copy from the proposal to the work order to the final reports in one system. What if that was possible? Then you turn around and you can make an integrated end-to-end inspection management service where all of this is in one place and you just follow a workflow over and over again, completing this information. That's what we would refer to as digital transformation and not digitization. So, if you want to find out more, we're at booth 1135. My name is Mike Bruno. I'm with Floodlight Software. I appreciate you all coming out today. I'll take questions.